So, the conversation today is about stress-free living. Stress-free living. Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome to New Answers Podcast. And our conversation continues on nurturing spirituality and stress-free living in the context of spirituality is what we're going to be exploring today about how we can find some solutions to the life challenges based on our personal experience. And I say personal experience, but stress-free living isn't necessarily how I'm living. This is what I'm aspiring to and what I have come to learn. And as always, I'm here with my colleague, Tiffany Lee, who is studying to be a licensed spiritual practitioner. And so she has some insights that she shares that's a little bit more developed than mine, but based on what she's her knowledge and her personal experience, and together we share things that we hope will be of use to you in your life. So yeah, and this notion of stress-free living kind of came out of the last conversation that we were having about breaking through the chaos and how when you sit on things that bother you, how that could sometimes build up to a point in your body where it manifests in a physical way, right? And and we don't want to do that. And there's a lot coming at us, as we were talking about before, from our external environment, and then how that might affect us in our personal day-to-day living, going to the grocery store, going to the gas station, and all these prices that are outrageous. And we don't have to enumerate all the ways in which stress kind of builds up in our lives.
Right.
But so yeah, having this conversation is about how we can break free of that. And I know on an intellectual level, just based on where I am in my spiritual development, that if we just surrender to the higher power, that it releases and kind of alleviates the burdens that we feel bombarded with, right?
Right. Yes. Um,
I don't know how you answer that. Just there's no question. There's
right,
just
right.
that observation, I guess.
It's
And just,
observation. It's your way.
yeah,
I mean,
and just how you observe it.
ultimately,
Yeah,
ultimately, stress is a choice.
there it
That's,
is. It's a
you
choice. It
know,
is a
it's a
choice.
choice. And that saying, change your thinking, change your life. It comes down to thinking. Like, I'm sure you're around someone and they're telling you something they're stressed out about, and you're like, why is she stressed about that? That's
Right.
not a deal. It's all about perception. It's how we perceive what's happening in the now or the future or the past. You know,
There you
it's
go.
literally about perception. Um, and you said, surrendering it to God, that's a way of doing it. You can look for all kinds of techniques to get rid of your stress. So,
Mhm.
and surrendering it to God, however you do that, if you can actually surrender it, if you can actually let it go. But that alone doesn't relieve the stress because let's say, pick a situation. I don't know, you're upset about, someone's upset about their work situation, right?
Yeah.
And they'll say, my boss treats me a certain way. Oh, this is good because this is common. It's typically about another person. Say their boss treats them a certain way. And they could say, I'm surrendering it to God. I'm going to let God handle that person.
Yeah.
Is that really going to relieve the stress? It's not because that person's going to react or say something to them and they're going to react and their stress, is going to cause their stress because they're perceiving how the person is speaking to them or doing something to them in their own way of perceiving it as bad or stressful. So their stress
Yeah.
is literally you causing your own problem.
Yeah.
in your body, in your body. Outside situations are going to happen. You
That's right.
can't, if you are subject to outside situations, you'll never be stress free. So it's, you know, even if it's an earthquake happens and your house falls apart. And I was in the 94 earthquake in the valley. My apartment fell. Um, it's still a choice how you want to handle it.
Yeah,
You
it's
can be
basically how you respond, right?
exactly, yeah.
And for me it's not so I guess the first reaction would be to I'm going to just let God handle it. But if you say instead, call on the higher power to help me see what is real here so that it changes your reaction to what's happening and not you putting it on this exterior, external power to do it for you. It's like, God, help me see what is real here so that you change your response to the
Mhm.
stimulus that's coming at you that may cause you to be stressful. So if somebody is mistreating you on the job, it's not like, oh, I'm going to let God handle that. No, God, help me um, figure out how to, or help me find my way to a response to this person for whatever,
Mhm.
whatever it is that they say to them. And,
Well,
and in that way, you're like, so it's moving your ego out of the way so that you're now relying on spirit to give you or angels to give you the messages that you need to respond in a way that's going to, give you some satisfaction, I guess.
peace with it. And
Some
for
peace with it.
me,
Yes.
right, for me, and this is where like higher wisdom or being self-reliant and is understanding that um we are all aspects of God walking around at,
Yep.
again, it keeps coming to this, at different consciousness levels.
That's
So if
right.
you are interacting with someone who's at a me consciousness, or if you're at a me consciousness, if you're at the
Mhm.
consciousness level, then you're going to be stressed. That's just a stressful consciousness because
Yeah.
life is happening to you all the time and
To
you're taking
you.
responsibility.
Hmm.
So that's that's a stressful way to live, you know. Um,
Exactly.
then I mean, I would just go live in a bubble because and because what else can you do? You're going to think the whole world is after you, with everything.
Exactly. Yeah. You're this paranoid, person. Yeah.
Right. Or just they have no understanding um that they're creating their life. So, but raising the consciousness level on that is when you realize, okay, we're all just aspects of God. We're all walking around here um trying to make it, trying to understand things, you know. So if someone is if someone's at that to me level, then they're sometimes you just have to understand that they're perceiving things a certain way that you don't relate to, and so therefore don't. Take
There you
space.
go.
Just take space and realize maybe you won't come to the same terms. Maybe you won't come to an understanding with that person because their consciousness level is not equal.
Yeah.
And it's the same. You could be at a lower consciousness and that person's at a higher consciousness, and they're going to get on your nerves again too because they're going to say stuff to you. You're going to feel like they're not understanding your problems or that they don't care. But the person at the higher consciousness is just saying like, you're just living your life. It's not going to affect me, you know?
Yeah.
So, um, you can also, when you get a higher conscious, recognize how someone's ego or their stories in their head are affecting them and the way they are living their life or affecting you, approaching you. Um, Also, recognize your story. It's just a story. So to go to the extreme, let's think of an earthquake. An earthquake happens, your house falls apart. You could
Hmm.
look at it naturally and be like, this is horrible. And you can just look at all the negative, right?
Yeah.
I have to buy new things. I don't know if I'm going to live, blah, blah, blah. Or a really high consciousness, understanding that we're just here to experience life, you could be like, wow, this is an experience. Now
Yes.
this is a new adventure to get through this. You're going to, either
Mhm.
way, you're going to get through it. It's a perception, of how you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
Did you read my last poem posted on Facebook?
I don't think I did.
You
No.
may not have seen it yet. I don't know how like I said, I haven't been online enough, so the algorithms aren't working as well, not showing up. But it
Hmm.
was me looking back at my life, all the all the ups and downs, the
Hmm.
love, the heartbreak, the money, the poverty, and I realized what a beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Look at all the experiences in my life I've had. What a privilege to have that.
Yeah.
And I compared it in my head to someone who people that have really simple lives. And I could be like, now I'm like, that seems really boring because even even though at times, like when my first husband had cancer or when I was in an earthquake or, these things at that time and space, especially when I was at a lower consciousness, might have seemed like really horrible. I
Hmm.
was never that low of conscious. I'm pretty good at being in the now. Like no matter what's going on, I'm really good at about, and I always have been being in the now at this very moment. Um,
Mm-hmm.
am I okay right now? Am I fine right now? And if I'm a yes, then I'm like, okay, then I can be happy. But with that, I looked at all of that and I was like, I was just evaluating my life and being like, wow, I've had some life. I've lived some life. I've lived lives.
Yeah,
And with that, all those experiences is created who I am at this point in my life, you
that's
know?
true. That's true.
And there's so much more to come. And it's not going to be like, okay, all the roller coaster is over and now it's just a coast. Well, that would be
Hmm.
boring too. Like even
Hmm.
now that I think about it, like it'd be great if I met a new man and we moved into this beautiful house and it was just what, easy? Like of
Yeah,
course I
easy
want it
going.
easy, but
Yeah,
but you know,
we all do. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But at least at my consciousness now, I understand that I get to choose my adventures as opposed to just having no control in the roller coaster of life. I
Mm.
get to choose, oh, I want to go this way, I want to go that way. I get to choose the
Hmm.
adventures in the co-creation of my life. I understand that. We do it anyway. We're always choosing.
Hmm.
We're always creating. But there's a consciousness of the fact that we're doing it, and there's unconsciousness of not knowing at the to me phase.
Hmm. Yeah. I,
So
I think I'm at the stage, I was talking about the stages before. I'm between the, what is it? It's to me, for me,
through me as me.
through me, as me.
Yeah.
I'm between the for me, through me stage. And I'm beginning to look at things. Sometimes it's taking a little bit longer. So when stimulus comes to me, whether it's good or bad, usually it's the bad that I'm looking at. What is it I'm supposed to learn from this? What can I, what am I, like this is happening because there is an aspect of my life, a facet of my life that I am supposed to grow in. That's how I'm trying to look at it. Sometimes it
Right.
takes me a little longer, depending on what the situation is, to
Yeah.
come to come to that. But I'm getting there. I'm
Right.
getting there. And and with each, and it's like building up muscle, for any physical thing that you do. The more you come into that consciousness, the quicker that consciousness comes to you and you begin to look at things a little bit differently. The choices that you make about how, based on what it is that's coming at you, if you take the perspective that this is showing me an aspect of my development that I need to grow in. If take that perspective, make that choice instead of
Right.
another choice, then it becomes less of a and negative. You know what I
Right.
mean? And less of a burden that sits on your shoulders. I keep pointing to my shoulders because it's like stuff sitting on your shoulders.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Mm,
do. And then you take that even further, and this is what I do now is when something comes up in my life that I don't like,
hmm.
I look at like how am I creating that?
Ah,
How is that a reflection of me?
yeah, yeah,
What in
yeah.
me just created this situation?
Exactly. What role did I have in having this happen and have this happen? Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Or literally, how did I
Mm-hmm.
create that? It's a
Hmm.
reflection. Your whole life is a reflection of you. That's part of the matrix, right?
Yes.
We are creating our lives and everything about us is a reflection of us. Like
Yeah.
from our subconscious, we're like the projector. So that is radical self-responsibility.
Mm.
And that's
Radical
hard.
self-responsibility. I
Yeah.
like that
To know
term.
that everything that happens to you is your creation.
Is your creation. Hmm. I need to write that down. Radical self-responsibility. Yeah. Take note of that. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
It's not an easy thing to do. And
I was just gonna say, yeah.
when I
Hmm.
was developing that muscle, I knew it first. But let's just say relationships are the best way to grow that muscle. So you're in a relationship, as soon as your partner does something that you don't like and you want to put the blame on them, they need to change. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And it's all about them. They need
it's
to
all
do
about
something
them.
different.
They need to
Yeah.
change.
Hmm.
Right. But when you turn it around and being like, what, how is this reflecting me? How is their behavior reflecting me? Meaning like, how do I act like that? How is
Yeah.
that? So I'm trying to see if I'm saying that correctly.
Mm.
Um, but I'll use an example. I have a tendency to date avoidant men that kind of keep a distance. They don't come in strong in a relationship, so they're called avoidance. Uh,
Oh, okay.
and it's easy to blame the man, blame that partner, like
Hmm.
that. Oh, they have relationship issues, they have commitment issues, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Once I understood radical self. What did I just say? You wrote down. I remember radical self
Radical
accept,
self-responsibility. Yeah.
radical self responsibility. I had to look at that and like, how is that me? How did I create that?
Hmm.
How is that behavior in me?
Okay.
And you don't see it right away. Sometimes you have to go in meditation. You have to um, take your time.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have to ask the question, take your time to learn it, and then spirit will show you. And
Hmm.
and then that becomes something that you work on. And so that became my habit is like, oh, I don't
Hmm.
like this behavior this person is showing me. So therefore,
Hmm.
how is that me? And you don't believe me, it's not something you want to always admit. You know, it
Right.
doesn't have
Oh,
to just be
yeah.
in a partner. It could be in a friend, and that person's doing something. You're like, ugh, I don't
Right.
like it at all.
Hmm.
Uh, but then you got to turn that around and be like, how is that me?
Hmm.
Everyone shows you who you are. Everyone's a mirror.
That's interesting. So, because here's what I'm thinking about. And so, in my situation, I tend to be attracted to men who are um, emotionally unavailable.
Right. That's an
Say
avoidant.
that. Is that what is that the same thing?
Yeah.
So, so then I need to look at me
Hmm.
as being, oh,
Emotionally unavoidant. And I'll tell you the easiest way to see
th-
how you is because
yeah,
you're attracting them because you are too. That
because I
way
am too.
you are
Oh,
too. Because
because
that way you can blame the lack of commitment or
on them.
attachment on them and you don't have to worry about it for you. Now picture you being and I saw this in real form with me because I was dating this person and at one point he started calling more often and and wanting to see me more often and all the things that I said I wanted. But when it happened, my nervous system acted like, ugh. And then I was like, ugh. All of a sudden I was like, oh, why is he calling? And I had to remind myself because I wanted this, I wanted this. And then I felt the uncomfort in me. I was like,
Mm,
this is me.
that
Like,
is you.
yeah.
Oh my God. Because so my conscious, this is why I say the subconscious is the deal, is the deeper
You want to say the
thing.
subconscious is the devil.
No, no, not the
Yeah,
devil at all. The
right.
subconscious is
He's
is
the
is
boss.
the it, is
Yeah,
really the thing. So, but consciously, I'm thinking that I can, that this is a person, although there's like a pattern, and I guess I should recognize that pattern. But I'm thinking, oh, this is somebody I can help. I can help bring out their, you know, make them be more emotionally available. That's how I rationalize it, I guess is what, which is why I continue in the relationship. Like I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna fix them. That's what I'm gonna do. When in fact, it's me, right? That's what I should be looking at. It's me. Oh my God, I got to really think through that. I got to think through that. Oh, because I hadn't even, until we got into this conversation, it never occurred to me that it was me this was a reflection of me.
right,
I guess I started to get to a point where I saw the pattern, like these are the kinds of people that seem to be coming into my life. So I recognized that I didn't get to the point of what am I doing to attract that, you know? I was on the way there to try to answer that question. So it was about what am I doing to attract that? I didn't think the question was not the question was what am I doing to attract it? And it wasn't what is it about me? Well, it does come back to me ultimately, but it was coming back to me in a different way.
right,
What is it about me that I'm always ending up with these people who
right.
are
So you said, what
emotionally
is about
available?
me that I'm always ending up with these people,
Yeah,
which doesn't take control of
exactly.
responsibility of the action.
It
Yeah,
doesn't take responsibility at all. So that's a whole different question. I was like, what is it about me that's attracting these folks?
that's the correct question. How am I attracting?
How am I attracting?
Because
Yeah,
we're all energy, right? So energy
right.
attracts, you attract like attracts like. So, and what's going to happen, and which did happen with me with that relationship, and it was a 4-year relationship, was once I worked on myself and decided I wanted something different,
Mm-hmm.
different came in and
Ah,
ready for it then. That person can no longer be someone I even wanted anymore because they weren't at that energy. They were different. I was different now, so I was going to attract different.
mm-hmm. And so when different came into your life, then what?
And I
Did,
became interested in that person.
oh, you did? I mean, it didn't
Yeah,
scare you? It didn't,
no. I mean, at that point, I understood.
you understood
Um, yeah,
what was
the
going, okay.
practice of looking in the mirror at the reaction, the practice of
Mm-hmm.
looking in the mirror and accepting that what I'm seeing is me and
Mm-hmm.
working, changing that because I decided I want different. So by the when I change it, then I'm attracting something else.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then now let's move beyond relationships and talk about other things that we need to approach differently to live a stress-free life.
Right,
So there's relationships. Usually there's money in our relationship with money, right?
right.
So, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, especially now in this economy. Everybody seems to, I think, it seems to me that, I mean, in this the circle that I'm in, um, money is uppermost on people's minds, no matter what uh, status that they're at, that they're kind of thinking about it. So, what is it we need to do different? What does that tell us I guess it depends on what our situation is, huh? About
Well,
what it
what
is
you,
we need to be, what are we reflecting and
right.
what do we need to change?
Well, what's that saying? You know what you love by what you think about most or something. And
Mm.
um, the God says you can't love money and me at the same time. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah. You can't be
money,
a lover of
money
money.
is, yeah. And
Mhm.
money is just a resource. And remembering
Right.
that it's just a resource, um, that the resource can change, by the way. Money is
Yeah.
agreed. Right now, the dollar is what we've agreed is our resource to receive things. And that's the whole purpose of it. It's we use it as a resource to get and receive things for our lives that we need. So
Mm-hmm.
putting the focus on money, I think, is the mistake. It's put the focus on the life you want to live.
Mm-hmm.
It's not dependent, and realize it's not dependent on money. It's dependent on
Right.
source. Source is the control. You're the control. So,
Right.
say you want to go on vacation, you could buy, your own plane ticket or whatnot, or someone can give it to you. What you do
Yeah.
is put into the universe what you want, the things that make you happy, and then
Mm-hmm.
allow the universe to let it come in however it happens.
Yeah.
But um, when people are stressed about money, it's because they think that they're making money their source, and it's not the source.
Yeah. Yeah. And have kind of a limiting view on money because money, it's about circulating it and about, yeah. So, and looking at it not as something that can limit you or expand you, that it's just like you say, agreements that we have between and among each other.
Right.
Like my color is changing on this. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
know. Is that the sun?
I don't know what that is because it's not. No, it's not the sun, but it just
I was
seems
like,
so
maybe a cloud went by
weird.
because yeah, it went.
Uh, yeah, I don't know what that was, but money is it's something that circulates in the universe,
Right.
and depending on the perception that we have about it, like typically people think that it's so scarce and that we have to, I don't know, claw and grind in order to get it when we should have a more relaxed attitude about it, that it's going, like it's going to come to you if you, as you say, put your attention on, I guess it's kind of the expansive way of looking at money as it circulates into, the universe and not so possessive, I guess. Pos and that possessiveness, I think, is kind of attached to the ego, like this is mine, and I don't want anybody to get it, and I have to do everything to protect it, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
It's just making it your God. It's just making it your source for your happiness. If we're talking about
Right.
stress, anytime you make any one element outside of you the source of your
The
happiness,
story. Yeah.
then it's going to let you down because it's you, period. So it doesn't matter if it's
Yeah,
money, it doesn't
get
matter if
in
it's
trouble.
job, relationship. If you're counting
Right.
on that person being object, living situation, the source of your happiness, then
Uh,
you're not gonna be stress free. It's all just how you look at it's just how you look at life. It's perception.
yeah, absolutely.
It's how you respond to life. Because
Mm-hmm.
life is never, like Jesus said, life isn't, here to be easy. We're
Right.
in earth school, it's for us to learn and to experience. I mean, it's to experience. If we like think
Mm-hmm.
we can just walk about and nothing, no challenges come, they're challenges, everything's a challenge, no challenges come,
Right.
then what are we experiencing?
Yeah. Yeah, really. It's boring, I would think. I don't know. So
So,
talked about relationships, we talk about money and our relationship with money. Health is another area that I think um, comes to mind when people think about stress Like whatever, if you know, if you're been diagnosed with a condition of whatever it is, um,
That's a
how
strong
that
one. Yeah.
how that can put a lot of stress on you. And the same things that we were talking about with relationships and with money applies here as well, right?
Yeah. Even more important because um, health is caused from stress. Health
Yeah.
issues caused from stress,
Yes.
caused from that negative energy being built up in your body and not being released. So, um, you know, I say things on this that people just don't like to hear, but I mean, we do cause our own illnesses. And I have issues, and I know it when they come
Hmm.
up. I'm like, okay, I literally was laying in bed this morning being like, my knee has been swollen for 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, body. And I
Mm.
refuse to take Advil to cover it
Hmm.
up because I'm like, my body's trying to tell me something.
That's right.
And I noticed too that my shoulder and my knee hurt, and it's on the left side. That's on the feminine energy side. So I was like,
Mm.
how am I unbalanced in my masculine and feminine? Or, I'm just laying
Uh,
like, what is my body telling me? Because that's what our body does. It's telling us things.
that's exactly right. That's
Dog.
how stuff comes up in our, physical body. That's a warning. It's a signal.
Mhm.
Yeah. And a
Yeah,
sign or something that we have to pay attention to. Yeah.
right. So I'm not just trying to use medicine to get rid of it. I'm trying to look into my heart. I'm trying to talk to my body. I'm trying to make sure my body knows I love my body. And it's the feminine side that is, um, giving me signals. So
Hmm.
am I over reliant on my feminine side, or am I ignoring it? Are there things I need to say?
Hmm.
Um, and I'm saying this, I haven't figured it out yet, by the way. Um, but
Yeah.
but doctors have always said stress causes illness. And then
Yeah.
from a spiritual level, we're learning that um that's absolutely truth. And that's why some people, when they learn to um at a higher consciousness, learn to deny an illness and
Hmm.
truly believe, they heal themselves. They
Mm.
deny their illness, they have that true belief that it doesn't exist. They're whole, perfect, and complete in God.
Yeah.
God is us. God doesn't have illness, so
Right.
therefore there's no illness in me. Um,
Hmm.
that's just another way, but that's not an easy way to think, you know what I mean? But what
Hmm.
you believe is what you receive.
Hmm.
Um, so
And
when
believe
you
on a subconscious level, really deeply believe it. I've
right.
learned that subconscious is the key. Yeah.
Yeah. What you believe is what you receive. I'm going to write that down. That and the other thing I said, because those came to me just in this, but I actually
Mm.
really liked it. What you believe is what you receive.
Yeah.
And it's the same with illness. And the problem is, like, once you're diagnosed with something and the doctors,
Hmm.
and then you're all of a sudden in this world of your diagnosis, you're going to believe it. So you're going to receive it, and you're going to keep receiving it until you change your thinking and change your life with that. You have to
Hmm.
deny it. Emily Hopkins, Emily Curtis Hopkins.
Oh,
I'm
right.
reading
Yeah.
this right now. Starts
Hmm.
High Mysticism. Um, if you read her lectures, she talks so strongly about denying anything negative, denying any experience you don't want to experience, deny it, completely deny it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and that's
Mm.
how she's healed and helped people heal. She's old. I mean,
Hmm.
she's past now,
Hmm.
but she's part of religious science. Uh,
Right.
so again, it's perception, it's the way you think, it's what you
Hmm.
accept, it's what you believe that's going to cause stress in your life.
Yeah. And I think that taking I hesitate to say this. Okay, so I'll say it and then I'll have a disclaimer afterwards. Some medicines, I mean, you had talked about not taking Advil for your swollen knee because you want to feel or experience that whatever it is because it's telling you that there's something here that you need to pay attention to. And if you take some medicines, it will mask that, and you won't know that there's something happening in either in your psyche or in, that manifests itself in your body
Right.
that you need to pay attention to. So if you're masking it, if you're not seeing it, that becomes a problem. And ultimately it leads to
More
even
problems.
more, yeah, real, you know, deeper physical conditions that
Right.
take a lot of, longer and maybe more expensive to try to solve. And you don't want that to happen either.
Right.
So I say that with the caution that I'm not telling anybody to not take medicine when you need it, but just be aware of the fact that if you are going to do something that's going to cause this condition to be hidden from you, it could lead to something even more serious, right? And so you have to be very, very careful about how you navigate that. Because I
Right.
don't I don't want anything to be masked. I want to know what's happening because then I can
Exactly.
start to think about it more deeply to figure out, okay, so what does this mean? What is my body trying to tell me to do? Should I be
Right.
stopping, certain activity? Is there something that I'm not supposed to be eating? Is there something I shouldn't be exposing my body? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
those things so that, but if it's masked, you're not going to be able to ask and answer, get those ask
No,
those
right.
questions and get answers to it.
And when I was laying in bed, I had the thoughts that I mentioned, but I also was thinking about, okay, I started this new job and there's snacks, just an arm reach away. And I'm snacking all day long. And you know that these snacks is chips and pretzels and candy, and they're just right there. And I probably ate more snacks in the last couple of days than I've had like in a process of one day. There was one day where I just was like the whole time, little bags like all day long. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of nothing good, nothing good that I put in my body. My body's like, what did you do? What's
Yeah,
happening right now?
what's
You
happening
know?
here? What's going on here? This is not what I'm used to. Yeah.
Right, right. I try to remember that when you feed your body, you're giving it something good or you're taking away from it. Because every time you feed it, it's either you're giving it something to work with, good, or you're taking it away. And so when you eat a bag of chips, you're taking away because your body's like, I gotta process this crap. There's nothing in it for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, that crap, but
No, that's fine.
you know what I mean? So I spent a good day, part of the day of just making my body work. And that could be what's happening right now. It's like we're swollen because we're trying to process
Mhm.
all that stuff you put in me that we can't use, you know.
Ah, yeah.
And that's a good time to fast. I should,
Mm. I was going to say maybe that's what it's telling you, that you need to stop, giving the body something, intaking stuff to process and allow your digestive system to kind of recover, right?
right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's probably a good day that I should probably fast. I've had a meal today. I should probably fast the rest of the day till tomorrow.
Mhm.
My body get all the toxins out. But and
Mhm.
yeah, and that's stressful because and I do want to say that if I had someplace important to go today, or if I were going to go dancing or whatever, I would probably go ahead and take the Advil. If it was going to hinder what I needed to do
Mm.
too much, I would go ahead and take it. But it's so rare. I will because pain is stressful too. You don't want to ignore, you don't want to try to do something. You're like, I want to go dancing and you go out with your friends and you can't because you're in pain. No, go ahead and take that Advil, but don't forget that that's just masking it. Or like when you catch a cold and you have a fever and you have stuffy nose and all the symptoms, um, here's instead of being like, oh, I'm sick, that is one perspective. The other perspective is look at how good my body's working. Something got in me and my body's working perfectly well to get rid of it. Thank you, body.
Yeah.
Fevers kill viruses. Fevers kill bacteria. Like that's why your body,
That's why we have fevers. Yeah.
you
Hmm.
know, are you get the mucus and everything also to get it all out. That's your body working as a like a good machine, so it's not sick. No, look how well
Hmm.
my body is working. And
Hmm.
that alone, so it's just like the way you say things, that alone is a change of like perspective and how you feel about the situation.
Yeah. So ultimately, what we're talking about is changing our perception and perspective on
Right.
stimulus that comes at us, whatever that stimulus is. I know we talked about relationships, we talked about money, we talked about health, and a couple of nuggets that you've given me that I think that people who are listening to this was about the one nugget was radical self-responsibility, taking radical self-responsibility when these different stimuli coming at you, and how are you reacting? What is your perception and perspective, or your perception of it, and being able to change that so that you know you can relieve yourself of the stress that it might otherwise generate. The other nugget that you gave us is what you believe is what you receive. And for me, the belief goes down to the subconscious, like not the conscious necessarily self, but the subconscious self. Then that's what you receive. So these are some of the nuggets that I took out of this to talk about stress-free living. So what are you all who are experiencing this video? What are you taking away from this? We want to hear from you. Leave your comments in the comment section below this video. And of course, in order for you to see any of our new postings, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. All right. So, on behalf of my colleague Tiffany Lee, I'm Gwendolyn Flynn, and we will see you next time.